Everybody who's a hater, I would sure like to thank them. I'm Mr. Krabs, you're looking more like Plankton. Now let's see what Cosmo and Ron to do. Obtuse, rubber goose, green goose, guava juice. Powerpuff Girls taught me how to be the nicest by making sure I don't forget the sugar and the spices.
Okay, you beautiful passengers, as of recording right now, it is the weekend for me. It is Saturday evening. The wife is busy out on the phone in the living room, and me and her right now are kind of playing a tug-of-war when it comes to the AC, so to me, it's kind of warm in here right now, because for some reason she gets cold so flippin' easily. I want to set the AC at like 71, 72 degrees. She wants it to be at like 74, 75, which is hot. So if you are watching this, Dawn, it is hot in this house. Let's cut the AC down, please. And yes, once in a blue moon, she does watch my reaction videos. I don't think she's into cartoons as much as me, but once in a blue moon, you'll catch her watching it, and she might even comment from time to time. But me and her kind of had a halfway sort of date day. We went walking. We went to the store because I got a favorite store in town. It's called Second and Charles. It's where you take all your used stuff and trade it in for either store credit or cash. And normally I just get store credit. And I am working on kind of getting rid of a lot of the stuff behind me and creating a shelf specifically for a reason. But while I was over at Second and Charles, I did find Volume 2 of Rwby. And it was, granted, I know you're not going to be able to see it, but it was only $2.50. And, you know, I'm like, you know what? $2.50? I am never going to catch this deal anywhere else. I'm going to go ahead, grab Volume 2. I just got done watching it, so I won't have to worry about no spoilers or nothing like that on the front cover, nor the back cover. They had Volume 6 there, but it was at a new price, and I was not paying that price. So, yes, and a couple other things real fast before we jump into this. If it goes on too long, I'll have a time mark at the beginning of the video, which, you know, y'all already seen that. And if there wasn't a time mark, well, then I didn't go on that long. Okay, so, I need to get it out there. I will probably be giving 24 hours for comments before I jump into them from now on. I know previously I said 12, but I'm going to go with 24 hours as a just-in-case measure for, like, any spoilers and stuff like that. That way anybody and everybody else can get to those, and if it's spoilery enough, the moderators can delete them if they so choose to. I don't care what moderator you are. I go ahead, by all means, if you deem it spoilery, go ahead, get rid of it. Now, if it's just talking in general about the episode, yeah, that's perfectly fine. As long as they don't say, oh, this person's going to die in the next chapter. Okay, that's a spoiler. Y'all know what a spoiler is. So I ain't worried about that. But yes, 24 hours, and then I'll jump into the comments the next day after it's uploaded. So if you don't see me jump in right away, that's why. And I was also told not to pay attention to the intro that much because it's kind of a bit spoilery in itself. So I'm not going to try to do that. And now comes for the announcement of okay, I'm not, oh, that was a bit of a squeak right there on this chair, but you know what, I'm not going to let that bother me just because the chair's squeaking. But I'm not the kind of person that asks for stuff, so I'm just kind of like, you know what, everybody else is doing this, or at least a lot of people I've seen, they've made Amazon wish list. So I went ahead, I did an Amazon wish list. It's full of a bunch of cheap stuff. You know, I think there's like a Ludo figure on there for like $3.50. So I didn't get nothing extravagant on the Amazon wish list. What I made the Amazon wish list more than anything is when I'm here at this home location, I'm wanting to have, yes, I'm turning around a little bit, I'm wanting to designate one shelf for stuff that people have given me, such as that Hulk over there, Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and the rest of this stuff is all given to me. And I'm a hoarder when it comes to people giving me things, so I hoard that stuff. So I want to create a shelf, and that's not the only stuff that people give me on this shelf. I've got a whole shelf right here full of stuff that I need to bring up. But I want to create just a shelf for I'd rather the whole thing be all subscriber stuff. But I want to create one shelf at minimum just for subscribers. That way, whenever they see that shelf at the home location, they can feel like, oh, that's a piece of me sitting there with him watching that. So I'm kind of wanting to make it feel like that. I don't want to feel like I'm saying, hey, here's my wish list, buy me stuff. I don't want to be that person. In fact, what I would rather more than anything, I don't need cash. I don't need, physical gifts. I like letters. I would absolutely love to get a handwritten letter in the mail, and I'm working on getting a P.O. box here soon. So y'all, if y'all made it this far, please let me know about the P.O. box and if you're interested in that and stuff like that. But yes, that's the idea of the Amazon wish list, to help people see something in the home location and be like, oh, I bought that for him, and he was true to his word. He put it right on the shelf to make it me know that, I'm part of the whole setup here. So, I'm going to shut up. It's been at least 5 to 6 minutes. I'm going to end up putting a link in, not a link, but I'm going to end up putting a time mark in the first 30 seconds of the video. So, I'm going to shut up. Like I said, I don't need nothing free. I'm just throwing it out there. I know other people do it on YouTube, so I figured, why not? 3, 2, 1, and play. Okay, so I'm going to have to turn this up. Oh, you know what? That little beginning, and yes, since I was told not to pay too much attention to the intro, I'm going to be talking in the beginning of this. But I realize now why that beginning piano feels so freaking familiar. And that's because I've seen this terrible, terrible, terrible movie called Manos, Hands of Fate. And for some reason, that beginning piano at this volume kind of reminds me of some of the instrumental in Manos, the Hands of Fate. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, so yes, I definitely need to not pay attention to this, because I just think there's something to all that. And yeah, okay, I better stop looking at that intro, because I am seeing things in my head that might come back to play later. So yeah, okay, let's get into this. Rwby. Okay, so I am liking
Who is she? Winter.
Winter.
Wait. Your sister?
Sister! Winter! Oh, I remember you saying you had a sister named Winter now. Awesome!
Winter! I'm so happy to see you! Oh, your presence honors us.
You know, Rwby's rubbing off on you.
It's been a long time. The air feels different.
I mean, it is fall, so yeah, it's probably colder. So,
Wow, girl!
here.
Classified.
Oh, right. Well, how long are you staying?
Okay.
Classified.
Of course.
Everything is classified.
Well, this is nice. I think. You're going to love it! I know you travel a lot, but so much of Michigan is different from Atlas. Vale, too. The government and school are completely separate. Can you believe it?
I'm more than familiar with how this kingdom handles its bureaucracy. That is not why I came.
And yeah, she does not really care.
I come here to watch my own blood fail so miserably in battle. But it appears I have no
Man.
choice in the matter.
I am not liking her
Only
sister.
a novice would refer to that as a victory. I counted at least 3 strikes missed. Leave us. How have you been?
Oh, splendid.
Huh,
Thank you
and
for
now
asking.
you're
I'm
getting cordial
actually
with her
very
all of a
well. My
sudden.
first
Okay.
in class. The rest of my studies are going wonderfully too.
Silence, you boob! I don't recall asking about your ranking.
What in
I
the
asked how
world,
you've been.
girl?
Are you eating properly? Have you taken up any hobbies? Are you making new friends?
Well, there's Rwby.
Yeah, there's Rwby.
Boo.
Are Rwby really going boop?
I see. So this is the leader you wrote of. How appropriately underwhelming.
Gosh.
Greetings, Rooby.
At least Ruby's kind of looking on the bright side and saying thank you.
Oh, yes, of course. The honor is in my court.
You lovable goofball.
General and your headmaster. But seeing as I'm early, why don't you take me to your quarters?
Really?
Yes. I wish to inspect them and make sure they are up to my personal standards.
Of course. Just so you're aware, the bunk beds only look unstable.
Bunk beds?
Oh, goodness. You know, Weiss is actually growing on me now. Ruby's going to, of course, always be my favorite, but Weiss is growing on me now. She has changed a lot. Okay, so whose point of view are we looking at from here?
Hey. Yeah. I'm talking to you, Ice Queen.
Halt! Excuse me? Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Shh. Not you.
Hey!
I like him so far.
You. So the gaudy ship of yours in town? Guess you're here too.
I'm standing right before you.
So it would seem.
You realize you just destroyed Atlas military
I-
property.
I noticed the way he wears his
I'm sorry.
cross on his neck
See, I
is not the same way as
some
everyone else.
sentient garbage.
I don't have time for your immature games, Crow.
Ha! I knew it!
You two know each other?
Crow!
Jeez.
Uncle
You
Crow!
specialists think you're so special, don't you?
And I am presuming Uncle Crow
You know
is
what
based
you really
off of
are?
Edgar Allan Poe,
Bunch of sellers.
with the crows that hang around
Just
him.
like your boss.
I'm not sure what you think you're implying, but I've heard enough.
Oh, I heard too. I heard old Ironwood finally turned his back on Ozpin.
Ozpin?
Weiss, it's time for you to go.
What?
Listen to Big Sister, Weiss. She'll protect you. Just like Atlas is gonna protect all of us, huh?
If you won't hold your tongue, then I will gladly remove it for you.
All right then. Come take it.
Come take it, girl. Uh-oh. Ah, that's not the weapon I was expecting. I was expecting another scythe, like, Rooby.
What's going on? Some crazy guy just tried to attack my sister.
That crazy guy is your uncle.
Such a that is my uncle! What? Take her butt, Uncle Crow! Teach him respect, Winter.
Oh, you found something interesting, didn't you, Mercury? Okay. I don't know if I'm right here, but I'm kind of getting some shipping vibes happening with these two. So, yeah. I know I'm probably wrong. I'm just saying. I can feel the vibes. Oh, she ain't done. Uh-oh. Oh, you turned it into two swords. Nice. Okay. Where's Good Witch when you need her to fix things? That's... Okay. The gears are turning. What is he doing?
General Ironwood, sir.
What in the world do you think you're
Benny!
He started the altercation, sir.
That's actually not true. She attacked first.
Is that right? And you. What are you doing here?
Oh, come on.
You the same thing.
He seems pretty cool already, dude. Hey, Osmond! There you are, Good Witch.
Just around the corner at the Coliseum, that I can assure you has better seats and popcorn.
Break it up, everyone.
Oh, Osmond.
Let's go.
Hey, yeah, I was about to say, there's your friend, Rwby.
It's so good to see you. Did you miss me? Did you miss me?
Yes.
No.
Ah! Yes, he's gonna be a lovable goof to his little niece there.
Please.
I think I'm in trouble.
You did kind of tear up our courtyard.
Yeah, I did. Catch you later.
That's a little wink there.
And suddenly, your recklessness makes sense. You're just mad because he whooped butt. That was a draw at best.
Yeah, I'll give it a draw.
What were you thinking?
If you were one of my men, I would have you shot.
If I was one of your men, I'd shoot myself.
I love him. I absolutely love him.
Certainly didn't help the situation. He was drunk. He's always drunk.
This is true.
Crow, why are you here?
You've been at a
Okay, when are we gonna see what that cane of yours does, Osmond?
I'm not one of your special operatives, Jimmy.
General.
Whatever. You sent me to get intel on our enemy, and I'm telling you, our enemy is here.
We know.
That's why Mercury
you
was
know.
upset.
Well, thank goodness I'm out there risking my life to keep you all informed.
Crow.
Communication's a two-way street, pal. You see this?
Got a point.
It's the send button.
They had reason to assume you'd been compromised.
And I have reason to assume you don't need to be here. Seriously, who invited her?
Schnee will discuss this incident back on my ship.
But sir.
Winter. Leave.
Yes, sir.
I saw that little wink of his.
Go on.
Your little infiltrator isn't just another pawn. They're the one responsible for Autumn's condition.
What?
Autumn's
Despite what the
condition.
world thinks, we're not just teachers or generals or headmasters. The people in this room, the leaders of the other two academies, we're the ones that keep the world safe from the evils no one even knows about. It's why we meet behind closed doors, why we work in the shadows. So you tell me, James, when you brought your army to Vale, did you think you were being discreet, or did you just not give a damn?
Discreet wasn't working.
Okay, so discreet isn't working, huh?
I'm here because this is what was necessary.
You're here because Ozpin wanted you here. He made you a part of this inner circle and opened your eyes to the real fight that's in front of us.
And I am grateful.
Oh, well, you've got a real
I do
fine
find it
way of showing it.
peculiar that Ozpin isn't saying that much through this whole thing.
When they look to the sky and see my fleet, they feel safe.
Hmm.
And our enemies will feel our strength.
You think they're scared of your little ships? I've been out there and I've seen the things she's made, and let me tell you,
She's made.
they are fear.
And fear will bring the grim. A guardian is a symbol of comfort, but an army is a symbol of conflict. There's an energy in the air now, a question in the back of everyone's minds. If this is the size of our defenses, what is it we're expecting to fight?
It's got a good question.
So then, what would you suggest we do?
I suggest we find our guardian.
And you're sure?
I saw
Bad
that little
hair,
chess
used to
piece
sight, and smelled like my dad after a long day.
on his phone before he picked it up.
Nothing. We stay the course. They have no idea who we are, so we have no reason to worry. Besides, the last of the heavy lifting is being taken care of, thanks to our clever little friend. Speaking of which, it appears we have a new access point.
Anywhere good?
You could say that. Go to your rooms. I'll prepare everything for tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it.
Let's give the crowd a good fight.
The randomization process is complete.
Ah.
Your double tournament lineup.
It's interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Hence the reason why she says, even if we know how it ends, it's still interesting to watch nonetheless. Okay, so we got winter right here. This must... Okay, I'm starting to feel like this is concept art for the show. Before... Okay, I need to not actually read any of the voice work, because that's one way I do stay kind of a little spoiler free, is not actually checking out, you know, the credits and stuff like that, because then you'll see the names and then you'll see all this stuff. So I'm wondering if this is just concept art for stuff for the, you know, the volume and stuff like that being played throughout the end. But yeah, okay, I spaced there for a second. But yeah, okay, so one thing I'm liking about this volume already, and that squeak on this chair makes me feel self-conscious. But you know what? Hey, who cares? One thing I like about this volume so far this season is the fact that when one volume ends, it literally picks up right where the next, you know, not when one volume, but when one chapter ends, it picks up right where that volume, that chapter ended in the next chapter. So, can I get that out of my mouth correctly? Pretty much in a nutshell, chapter 1 ended, and then chapter 2 started where chapter 1 ended, and then chapter 3 here started where chapter 2 ended, and I like that, which means chapter 3 is going to start where chapter 4 is going to start where chapter 3 ended. Let me get my thoughts together in my head, and okay, maybe now I can speak with a little coherency. Yeah, but that's what I like about this volume so far. In the last two volumes, we didn't really get that. We got it, but we didn't get it at the same time. This one picks up literally right after the chapter ends. Each chapter coincides together no matter what. As far as Crow, I absolutely like Crow. He's a down-to-earth person. He seems like he's got a gruff exterior, but he also seems like he knows what the flip he's talking about and what the flip he's doing. Because the simple fact is he's the one risking his life out there trying to get them intel, as he says. He knows the ins and outs of everything going on. And yeah, he's just a lovable little, you know, he's a lovable guy when it comes to Rwby. So he absolutely loves his niece. And yeah, I was right about him. So he's just a lovable goof when it comes to the people he loves, but he's all about business when it comes to everything else. So I like Crow so far. I believe, me personally so far, this is just me in my head, I believe he's kind of based off of Edgar Allan Poe. I see the crows out there with him. His name is Crow. You know, I'm kind of putting a few things together. That's one reason why I put 2 and 2 together when he was at that bar, the Crow Bar. And I was like, okay, that's probably him, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. And then, on top of all that, he mentions Autumn. Now, this is why y'all were kind of like, that's kind of a spoiler for the Four Maidens. There was a lot of y'all that were kind of like, oh, this is a spoiler, dude. You shouldn't have watched Four Maidens yet. And I'm like, in my opinion, though, it's not really a spoiler. I mean, what that does is get me prepared for whenever they do say something like, you know, Autumn and stuff like that. So, for me, hearing the, you know, name Autumn is like, okay, cool beans. That means this is how it's going to be. So the Four Maidens, it's a foreshadowing more than it is really a spoiler, in my opinion. So that's just right now. Hopefully it didn't spoil too much, but that's what I'm gauging it off of. It's foreshadowing, not spoiling. So I know Autumn's going to come into play on this. And then that also, whenever I think about it now, that makes it where when Winter said, oh, the air seems different, something's wrong with Autumn. So, yeah, I'm wondering about all that. I really hope this chair quits squeaking. I'm going to put some WD-40 on it and all that good stuff one of these days. Other than that, I know I had something else in my head to talk about, but I know I'm going to end up forgetting what it is, and then I'm going to ramble on for 15 minutes about what it was that I was supposed to be talking about. And I'm trying to figure it out, but I just can't. So I'm not going to run my mouth for 20 minutes. Ozpin, Rwby. Oh, Weiss. I said I wasn't going to run my mouth trying to think of it, then I ran my mouth. Whatever. But yeah, Weiss. She is kind of growing into her own. When we first met her, she was a lot like Winter. She was kind of just straight-laced, you know, down the middle, straight by the book, nothing else. And now, you know, she's kind of starting to get kind of fun and lovable. Ruby's really rubbing off on her, and she's kind of making her, you know, she's becoming her own person pretty much, as opposed to always being militant-minded. And yeah, that's a good thing. So I have seen a change in Weiss from the beginning up until now. So, yeah, she's growing on me. She's not going to become one of my favorites no time soon. No offense to her, because she kind of reminds me of Rarity from My Little Pony. And I'm not, you know, I don't really care about fashion and, you know, presenting yourself like a certain way or nothing. I mean, I'm a truck driver. I can care less about fashion and how I present myself. Either way, though. If you stuck around for all that rambling, thank you for sticking around. Y'all know the drill from here. Hit the like, tickle to subscribe. Don't be texting and driving. And as Mr. Rogers always says,
and I like you as you are, I do.